Death toll rises in Sudan as army and paramilitaries fight for power. The fighting in the Sudanese capital lasted into the early hours of Sunday morning after a day of deadly battles between paramilitaries and the regular army that left at least 56 dead and nearly 600 wounded. Former Indian MP and brother are shot dead on live TV. A former Indian parliamentarian convicted of kidnapping and accused of murder and assault was shot dead along with his brother in a dramatic attack that was broadcast live on TV in northern India, officials said on Sunday. France seeks to reassure Taiwan about Macron's controversial comments. The French parliament is expected to send 2 delegations to visit Taiwan this month, after President Emmanuel Macron's controversial comments on China and Taiwan sparked criticism at home and abroad following his state trip to Beijing. Colombian FARC dissidents say they are ready to start peace talks next month. A dissident armed group of FARC guerrillas said on Sunday that it was ready to begin peace talks with the government starting May 16. Poland and Hungary ban grain and food imports from Ukraine. Poland and Hungary have decided to ban imports of grain and other foodstuffs from neighboring Ukraine to protect the local agricultural sector, the 2 governments said Saturday, after a flurry of supply depressed prices across the region. Ukraine regretted the Polish decision, saying that resolving various issues through unilateral drastic actions will not accelerate a positive resolution of the situation. After the Russian invasion blocked some Black Sea ports, large quantities of Ukrainian grain, cheaper than that produced in the European Union, ended up in Central European states due to logistical bottlenecks, affecting prices and sales for local farmers. The US's gloominess on the war in Ukraine is now clear to see. For months, American officials have privately aired their concerns about the course of the war in Ukraine. In public, they have emphasized their enduring commitment to helping Kiev resist Russia's brutal invasion and promised to support its efforts for as long as necessary. But in more candid discussions, with reporters and directly with Ukrainians, they pointed to a harsher reality. A total military victory for Ukraine seemed impossible. The military-industrial base in Western countries needed to sustain the flow of foreign munitions and weapons to the front was under severe pressure, and at some point, Western public support, especially from Americans, would wane, and the faucet gushing tens of billions of dollars in aid to Ukraine would be turned off. African Union chief to travel to Sudan as fighting spreads. The chairperson of the African Union, AU, Commission, Musa Faki Mahamat, will travel immediately to Sudan to engage the parties towards a ceasefire, the Pan-African organization announced Sunday. Expressing its deep concern over the situation, the AU further urged the forces of the 2 generals in charge of Sudan to protect civilians, in a statement released after an emergency meeting of the organization's Peace and Security Council on Sunday afternoon. The body in charge of conflict and security issues at the AU calls on the chairperson of the AU Commission to continue to use his good offices to engage with the parties to the conflict to facilitate dialogue and a peaceful resolution of the conflict in Sudan, and welcomes his commitment to travel immediately to Sudan to engage the parties in a ceasefire. Sudan's capital, Khartoum, as clashes continue. Sudan's state television cut its broadcast Sunday afternoon, a move officials said was aimed at preventing the broadcast of propaganda by a paramilitary force fighting the army for control of the capital. The paramilitary Rapid Support Forces said they took control of state TV and other strategic facilities when fighting broke out in Khartoum on Saturday, claims that were refuted by the army. On Sunday, the army appeared to have the upper hand in the fighting in Khartoum and the country as a whole.